look in here real quick. All right, look at this. This is Scar, my black rat snake. She has destroyed our cage again. She does this every single time I mess with her. Now, she's not exactly personable friendly, but she's not too bad. Like I said, this is Scar. She's a black rat snake, wild type. I got her probably last year in the summer. Now, if you look at what she's doing here, she's kind of coming out. She's doing these long, curious tongue flicks, and she's just keeping her eyes on my hand as I'm moving. Just kind of seeing what I'm doing, making sure that I'm not doing anything that's going to upset her in any way, shape, or form. But I was wanting to show you her enclosure here. This is just a plastic tub. That's a conversation for another time. But if you notice her aspen, it's all up on one side. If you come take a look here. And she does have a water bowl in there, but it is hidden. She's got her hide here, but it's full. And she has pushed all of this substrate down further and made little burrows inside of it. Now, this is the only rat snake that I own, so I'm not completely sure if this is normal activity or not. But I know with other colubrids like corn snakes, king snakes that I have, they don't do this. And with them all being colubrids, I figured it would be all about the same. So if you know anything about rat snake behavior, feel free to let me know in the comments what you know about them. If you have a rat snake, do they do this kind of thing as well? Hey, just let me know. So here we are with the old Scar. And this is kind of every few day thing with her. I showed you how she kind of wrecks her whole enclosure. So now we're gonna have to go in, get her out, fix it up, and make it look nice for her to then destroy again. So with her, I have to let her know I'm here with the hook. She's about to be picked up and not be fed. All right, cool. Now, funny thing about Scar is, oh, there's that tail rattle, just a little warning that she is not liking what we're doing right now. Oh, see, there we go. She's almost certainly gonna musk, but the only job here is to get her into this container without getting bit or musked on so that we can put her away and clean her enclosure. And she is definitely musking right now. I can smell it. Good thing I didn't get it on my hands because it's very hard to get off your hands. Now, if you don't know what musk is just a little secretion of almost like a liquidy substance that American colubrids do, and I'm sure some other species as well, but I just know colubrids for sure here in the States, like Scar the rat snake, corn snakes can do it, king snakes can do it, milk snakes can do it, just things like that. But it smells really bad. It's almost like getting sprayed by a skunk, but not quite that bad. It's just, it smells really bad. It doesn't hurt or anything like that. And it's just a little bit annoying to get off. And it just kind of says, hey, I don't really like what you're doing. Maybe you'll put me down if I put this smell on you. That's really bad. And she is correct. I'll put her down every single time. So let's clean this up, get her back in it, and talk about the other snakes that I have. The ones that you never really see. Let's get going. So we got this thing cleaned out. I know it doesn't really look all that great, but we did get all of the wet substrate out, all the poop that was in there as well. And then we kind of just try to leave it the way it was for the most part, because she does burrow into her substrate. We did add a little bit from what we took out. So we just got to get her back in here. We obviously cleaned out her water bowl while we were doing that. And we will put water in it. But yeah, she's back in her home. And if you look there, she's just rattling her tail at me. And what that's doing is it's just a warning sign. It's a warning that she's not exactly happy with how close I am to her or something I'm doing. And more likely, it's just the fact that I'm close to her, because she's never been really good with human interaction. And that's why you never see her on the channel here or in any of the videos. She's just not an ideal snake for handling. Now you ask, if you're not really doing anything with her and she's not handling well, why do you have her? Well, that's a question that I also have to answer for myself. Because if she's not really doing anything, what is the purpose? Well, just because I don't make content with these animals doesn't mean that I love them any less. They're still very important to me. I've had them for a very long time, and they're fun to mess with sometimes, you know, as far as it being just something different, something that's not so easy to handle. But Scar here is just a beautiful snake, and she will get more black with every shed, and it's been happening for a while now, but she is starting to get a little feisty. We're gonna put her lid back on here and put her up and leave her alone for the rest of the night. So this is another little one that you don't see all too often on this channel. This is Strike, and Strike is a baby, first of all, snow corn snake. And snow is a type of albinism, and I believe the snow slightly changes the pattern, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm not the person to ask about corn snake morphs especially. There's a lot of them, I know that. But hey, this is a pretty beautiful snake. And to be completely honest, they're not all that expensive. This was a $125 snake, you know. As a baby, you know, it's not gonna break the bank to buy a snake like this, and they are beautiful. Corn snakes also live a fairly long time. Now, let's ask ourselves the question, why do we never see this snake on the channel? And when it comes down to it, it's really because corn snakes just seem to be everywhere. Kind of like ball pythons, if you know what I mean. Everybody and their grandma has a corn snake or a ball python. I hate to say it, but it is completely true. They are everywhere. They're kind of boring. They're really easy to handle. They're more of a beginner level snake. I hand this snake off to kids all the time. Now they do get quite a bit bigger than this as adults, but they're still a dream to handle. But when they get bigger, they don't hang on quite as well as this baby one does, but they're still pretty nice. And they do come in all different shapes, sizes, colors. Well, not really sizes, more shapes and colors as far as the pattern goes, because you can find anything pretty much in corn snakes as long as you're willing to pay the money for it. But this is just a baby, and you know, she's doing pretty good, to be completely honest with you. Not doing anything really ever special, nothing specific. She is in shed right now. Those eyes that are normally very bright red are dulled out right now, but still beautiful, just a little boring. So this is gonna be the last snake on today's video. This is Mocha, another corn snake. Not exactly sure on the genes at work here, but this is an animal that I got from a Craigslist deal. I think I paid $60 for her, and I had to drive about 30 minutes to pick her up, no big deal. But the reason why you don't see her is because she's just so common, you know, being a corn snake. Still beautiful, but just rather common. Everyone has them. Now, she doesn't really exactly handle all that well either, so that's why I don't take as many pictures with her. She, like I was saying about the baby corn snake a minute ago, they handle better when they're younger. She's actually doing really good right now because she's staying in my hand. But when she does try to go up my arm, she gets kind of a little floppy. She doesn't really hold on all that well. They're not arboreal snakes like boas or pythons, so they don't have that ability to hang on quite as well because they don't live nearly as much of their lives in the trees. But they are still incredibly strong snakes. And there we go. She kind of likes to go in your sleeve like that as well. And that kind of freaks people out if I ever hand her off sometimes, especially to somebody. See, that's the floppy I was talking about right there. She just kind of a little floppy, doesn't really know what to do with herself when she's up like this. So that can kind of freak people out from time to time, especially if they're not really good snake handlers or if they never have done it before. And I'm by no means saying that you have to be an expert snake handler to hold this snake. I'm just saying maybe not what you would want for a very first time handling, because she can be so wriggly, but still a pretty cool looking snake for not all that much money. And she comes with a great personality, as most corn snakes do.